Hello, all you mystery maniacs of YouTube. Welcome to another edition here at the Mystery Manor. Hope you like what I've done with the place. Looks pretty funky. Full disclosure, looks nothing like my real house. But welcome along to another video with me, Mr. Mystery, and today we're going to be looking at some mythological creatures. Predominantly Loch Ness Monster, but we'll have a look at some other clips as well. My own personal view on mythological creatures, I'm open-minded but skeptical, so let's see what we can find. To be honest, this could go one or two ways. Will we find undeniable proof of mythological creatures, or will these clips just be a load of crap? Well, let's find out and let's get into it. Okay, so this first clip we're going to be looking at is a clip of Loch Ness Monster, supposedly, and it's been filmed from a drone. So let's have a little look. Apologies for the state of the state of the quality. It is absolute dog shit. I think what's happened is this person has re-uploaded it from the Daily Record, and then obviously I'm uploading it as well. So the quality is not great, but let's see what we can find here. So Loch Ness Monster filmed from drone. Okay. I think I might be able to debunk this one. Let's go back to the wide shot. Okay, so first things first, there is an object there. Okay, we can see that. There's something that's not quite right with the way it's moving. Again, this quality is absolute dreadful. Right. So one of the theories about Loch Ness Monster is that it's a plesiosaur, right? That somehow survived in the loch for thousands of millions of years, or a family of them potentially. If we're having a look at this thing here, so you've kind of got the flipper there. Okay, you've got the main body and the long neck. That kind of plays into the stereotypical Loch Ness Monster, right? So we've got a stereotypical Loch Ness Monster here, but there's a bit of an issue I have with this video. And again, it's not, I can't be certain, but I think that might have potentially been added in. Okay, and I will explain my reasons. All right. First of all, look how close that object is there, right? That is very close to the shore, right? So, and that's not a cliff because you've got boats there, so that's obviously a launching point. So it's not a cliff or anything. That's a launching point. You've got boats there, so obviously fishermen or tourists, whoever it is, go on the loch from here, right? This object is only here. So that object is remarkably close to the shoreline, right? Which is fine. There's obviously nothing, that doesn't prove anything really. But it's also very close to the surface. If that object is genuinely there, because the loch is very, very dark. Once you get about 10, 15, 20 feet under the water, you can't see the surface. There's no light whatsoever. It is completely pitch black down there. So that object is very close to the surface. It's very close to the shoreline, but I can't see anything in that video where that object, or whatever it is, if it is the Loch Ness Monster, it's not even breaking the surface. So it's got to be so close to the surface, but it's not breaking the surface. It's not. I can't quite make it out. Okay, perhaps there is a little break there then. Was that it popping its head up? There? I'm not sure now. I can't be sure anyway. But there's something just not right about it. I mean, that whole thing would surely be above the water. It's not causing any wake or anything, because where that moves from, which direction is that moving in? Right. So that's moving forward. So that's heading towards the shoreline. There's no break or anything here. So if that genuinely is there, that's so close to the surface, and yet it's not making any wake or anything on the surface. So on that basis alone, I would be inclined to suggest that that has been digitally added. I mean, my digital skills are not great, so I wouldn't even know how they did that. But yeah, I'm going to call bullshit on that one, but I could be totally wrong. Okay, moving on. We've got another Loch Ness Monster clip. This person has laid claim to the first Loch Ness Monster sighting of 2023. So let's see what this is. Come on, mate, get into it. What, there? Is that it? I mean, it was hardly worth mentioning. Let's be honest. Okay, that could be potentially a small animal that lives on the loch. I mean, is that a wake? Could be. But yeah, it's hardly worth mentioning. What? Unless the second one's better, I don't know. But that could just be a little animal that lives on, a little water mammal that lives on the loch. Okay, let's see what else he's got. Yes, come on, show me something better. It's it's literally the same. Okay, open mind. Let's go into with an open mind. Okay, I I don't see why they would have been. I don't think they've been digitally manipulated, because I don't really see the point of doing that. But with that one, that that really could just be an animal, like a small mammal. I mean, it's a massive loch. I mean, it's the biggest lake in the United Kingdom. So that really could literally just, I mean, there's all sorts of wildlife living in there. That could be anything. And I don't want to knock this guy down. He obviously watches a lot of Loch Ness Monster footage. He's obviously desperate to see something. And he's obviously very proud of what he's caught. I potentially could be wrong. That could be, but there's not enough. There's not enough there. There's not enough there to say yes, that's definitely the Loch Ness monster. I want to see proof. Give me the proof. No, I think that's just an animal or a log. Or someone could have just thrown something into the log. I mean, it doesn't look like it's that far from the shoreline, so somebody could have just thrown something in, and for whatever reason, and then obviously people watching the webcam have been very excited. But just on the note of that, I think that just kind of shows really how much people take to the story. People all over the world absolutely are obsessed with the Nessie story, and I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I hope the legend does continue. But I think the jury's still out on that one. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at some other clips of some other mythical creatures. Let's see what we can find. Okay, so the next clip, we have a guy who's out on the open ocean fishing, and he catches something on his GoPro. Let's have a look. See whether we can make sense of it. That's not the only thing. It's very Jaws. Right. Firstly, why are you that... Well, we presume he's that far out on a tiny little canoe boat, or whatever that is. That looks like a gust of wind can knock that over. If there's anyone in the comments who can back up, if there's anybody watching who can back up or validate how strong they are, please do let me know. But that doesn't look very sturdy. Fair play to him. Balls of steel going out into the ocean on that. Okay, so he's obviously heard something. I didn't see anything. What am I looking at? What, that? Is that... Oh, come on, mate. It was hardly worth mentioning that. Right. Okay, what we do see is it pops out of the water and then it goes straight back in again. So it does... Something does pop out and then it goes under the water again. But the problem is, this is a GoPro, so the quality is obviously not going to be great. And then it's quite far in the distance, whatever that was. I just want to have a look at that one more time. So, does that look a little bit like a fin? Maybe? I'm not sure. I'm clutching straws here. Excuse me. I don't know what that is. That's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool. I've no idea what that is. That could be a shark, which would be absolutely terrifying if it is, or some kind of marine animal that we're aware of. But I don't know. I can't say for sure what that is, but that looks a bit like a fin, so maybe it's a shark. We'll run with that. I'm not saying it isn't, because it could be something. But yeah, it's quite a good one, that. Okay, so the next clip, we have this guy, and he is chased by a troll. Trolls are very prominent in sort of Nordic, Scandinavian folklore. So let's see what happens to this guy. Yeah, I agree. Where's the troll? Show me the troll. Is it just him just walking and talking? Okay. Oh, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's very well edited. But I think it's safe to say that one's faked. It's quite well done, I have to say. But yeah, I mean, if there was a troll that big, I'm pretty sure some other people will have noticed, and I'm pretty sure it would have been on the news at 10. Yeah, absolute bullshit. And this is the problem with AI now, because although we can sit here and say, yeah, that's absolute bullshit, but there are some people out there who would genuinely believe that. They genuinely would believe that. And it gets to a point where there's potentially an ethical thing there, because if people genuinely believe that, that could play on people's mental health. And I know it's easy for most of us to go, well, that's clearly faked, but I think for some people they may be susceptible to that sort of thing, and it can cause a bit of panic for people who, it can cause a bit of panic for certain people. So I'd kind of err on the side of caution on that one. And I think everybody has a bit of a responsibility for things like this. If you're going to make it for fun, that's fine, but at least kind of say that it's for fun rather than just kind of posting it like that and making out that you are genuinely being chased by a huge troll. Very well done, very well edited, but absolute shit. Okay, next up we've got some mermaids. So let's have a look at this one. Well, that's clearly fake. Okay. Why is Prince on a fishing boat? Right. Okay. Right. The way that's moving, it's quite grainy footage, so we can't actually see any facial features there. It's very grainy. It's really grainy, so that doesn't help. We can't actually make out any facial features there, so that could be a fish, right? That is clearly an animal. That's not long enough to be what we would consider to be a mermaid. That looks more like a stingray, but I've never seen a stingray behave like that. But doing a flip, or it could be a flipper, but yeah. Oh yeah, you got kind of got the legs there. Yeah, that could be a dolphin. I mean, I don't even know why I'm debating this. I mean, it's pretty universally accepted that mermaids are not real. This one, no, that's probably not the best pause. So, a water snake, an anaconda, something like that. I mean, we don't know where in the world this is, right? That's the thing. We don't know. That's not very convincing. You've got that. That looks too thin. I mean, if you think about what a mermaid should be, half woman, half fish, that just looks like doesn't look. That just looks like a snake to me. A water snake, like an anaconda or something. My knowledge of snakes is not good. I don't like them. I don't think we've got anything else apart from Prince there. Okay, the final clip we're going to look at today is a clip of Bigfoot. This is quite a recent sighting, the 24th of May this year. So let's get into it. Whoa, the quality is atrocious. Why is the quality so bad? Is it? This might correct. Ah, there we go. Right. It's got Blair Witch Project vibes. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to that again. What the hell's this? Whoa, this isn't... Whoa, okay. Let's go back to this then. So, alright. Couple of things that are a bit off with this video, first and foremost, right? So, Bigfoot, right, is up there with the Loch Ness Monster in terms of legendary mythological creatures. You know, people have tried to prove the existence of Bigfoot for decades, if not longer. I don't know off the top of my head how far it goes back. But if you're on a trip, right, and you're in the area where you know Bigfoot has been sighted, and you catch Bigfoot on camera, right? If we're saying this is a genuine footage, and we'll look at that in a minute, you would not be the way that they are behaving. They're too calm. They're too calm. You know, you'd be freaking out a little bit. You'd be excited. You'd be nervous. These people are just giving nothing. Like, dude, you know, they are not. Yeah, look, they're just saying, "Oh, that's weird." You know, it's not. It's not weird. You've just caught Bigfoot. You've caught Bigfoot, one of the most legendary mythological creatures in the history of the world, and you can prove once and for all that Bigfoot is real, and they are just giving off nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe that's just the way they are. I don't know. Yeah, we come in peace. They're just giving off absolutely nothing. Right, let's go back to when they first see him, because there's a couple of bits I want to question here. Right? Okay, so spotted him up there, right? Now, if we look at that image, and I appreciate it's not the best image, but if we look at that image, right, that's got a white glow all around it. Now, that might just be, if that is genuine, that might just be the fur of the animal, right? But my knowledge of video editing is very, very, very basic. So please do forgive me if I'm wrong here. But it could also suggest that that has been overlaid. I'm not saying it has, because it could also, like I say, it could just be the sun. It's obviously a sunny day. That could also just be the sun is beaming off the that's just reflected, or you know, it could just be the fur. Let's have a look at how it moves. So it moves behind the tree. Oh, hello. Did anyone else just see what I just potentially saw? Let's go back. Did that tree not move when it tried to push it out of the way? Do we can see? There's something not right with this. Right. Is that crouching? That creature... Oh, I've gone too far. Is it standing or is that crouching? Okay. Because that looks like it's crouching on top of the rock. Its knees are bent. That's what it looks like to me, unless it's standing behind something. And then it moves over, and then all of a sudden it's standing upright. It just looks a little bit off to me. So, I mean, it could be standing behind that rock, but I thought it was crouched, but I might be wrong. But the way that transitions doesn't look right. So the head's... This... It might just be the quality of the camera, because that is really zooming in, right? That person is from a distance away and they're really zooming in. So it might be the camera in all fairness, but there's something off with the way that transitions. So if you have a look, when it goes behind the tree, and I'll play it in full, when it goes behind the tree, when it gets to about here, just before it's about to step out, there's something off with it. It's walking, walking, walking. There, it almost like it jumps a frame. Again, it might be the quality of his camera. It just doesn't look right to me. Now, other explanations, we don't know exactly where they are. We know they're on the Colorado River. So, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, too much more time. There's something not right with the transition. There's definitely something not right. Move, 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 move there. This, it just looks off to me. And like I say, they're on the Colorado River. I don't know the geography of it very well, but that could be a normal gorilla. I don't know. I don't know how many gorillas, if any, there are in the rural United States. So I don't know. Maybe someone could correct me. But looking at that, there is something off with that. And I'm just going to do one more angle on it. The trees, you can see the trees are swaying in the distance. But does that tree move when he walks past? When that... Okay, we won't go down that route because I was looking at whether the tree reacts to effectively whether the tree moves or whatever it is. But there is something else that's not quite right here, and I'm just trying to put my finger on what it is. So we can see all the way through that. So we can't see through that now, but we could see through it when that thing was walking behind it. That may be because there's bushes behind it and we can't see properly because there's bushes behind it, which would obviously mask that area, but we could see that thing through that. That is a tough one. Or the other thing it could be is it could just be somebody in a gorilla costume, potentially. I'm not saying this is faked. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it could be, but the thing that that kind of leans me towards the fact that this might not be genuine is their reaction. They are just not reacting to that whatsoever. So I think on that basis, I'm inclined to believe that this may be a load of crap. Okay, so quite a mixed bag there. I'm not really sure what to make of all that. I can't prove that any of it was faked, and I'd never outright say, well, I have said, but I can't be certain that any of it was faked. It could all be genuine for all I know. I think the one for me that was probably more realistic was the guy in the canoe or the whatever it is that was out in the ocean and the thing popped out. I think that was probably the most interesting thing for me. I think the Loch Ness monster one, for the reasons that I've already given, could potentially be faked, but I can't say for sure. That Bigfoot one just didn't sit right with me. It was there, like I say, it's their reaction to it that just was totally off. Considering the fact you've caught a mythical creature on camera, and you're just, yeah, right, okay, yeah, we've got Bigfoot on camera. Yeah, cool. Come and have a look. Nice one, dude. You know, it just seemed totally off. But anyway, we'll be back with another video. If you do like the video, please like, please subscribe, and please leave your comments down below what you think was the most interesting clip, or if there's any clips you want me to react to, please do pop them in the comments. More than happy to react. But for the moment, that is case closed.